Hi, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Puzzle. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Gyrotwisty, a great puzzle that is completely made out of 3D printed parts, FDM to be exact, and it was designed and manufactured by Diniar Namdarian in Germany. And the purpose of this puzzle, or the target of this puzzle, is to disassemble all the parts into single parts and reassemble them back again into its initial shape, which is quite tricky. And the shape of the parts and how it works, because I solved this before I recorded this intro, reminds me very much to Hanayama puzzles, and I can really imagine that this one would also fit very well into Hanayama's portfolio if made out of metal. However, as I said, I solved this puzzle before recording this intro. My difficulty rating is a 3 out of a maximum of 5, so it can be quite challenging. The name you probably also noticed, and the shape remind after the famous Gyrotwister. This one is not commercially sold. However, this is the Gyrotwister. It's a toy that can train your wrist, and first you need to accelerate it, and this is what I try to do now. This one is a little bit worn, so it's kind of difficult. However, if you meet the right frequency, you can feel that there is a torque building up and trying to rotate your wrist, and it can reach up to 10,000 revolutions per minute here, and this is producing a really strong force. As you can see, you need a lot of force to hold it, and it really trains your forearms and your wrist. Very cool toy, but this one here is minimum at the same level, of course, and it can be, let's say, also rotated here in the inside. I didn't show this before. There is some kind of a sphere inside. And that's it pretty much, and you need to somehow find a way to disassemble it. After the spoiler break, I'm going to show you how I did it and what was my approach to find a solution. Okay, so let's try to crack this thing. What do we have here? We have an outer ring, the dark colored outer ring, and this obviously consists out of 2 parts. And these parts move a little bit, they have some free play, but also if I look at the line here, it seems that they are interlocked somehow in a way that they cannot be taken apart like so, because this won't work. So I expect you probably have to shift them in some direction. Let's look into this later. And in the inside we have another ball which can be rotated in all directions. So I just follow the line here. Okay, it seems it's also 2 parts in the inside, if I follow this line, because there are no other lines. Oh, what was this? Oh, it's the same one. There are no other lines, so I think we can conclude it's 2 outer parts and 2 inner parts. And now let's have a closer look here on this line. It's interlocked here and here, so definitely we cannot take it apart like so. But I think we might be able to shift it. Okay, but it's obviously blocked. Okay, I think it's pretty clear what to do, how to disassemble it. First I need to find a direction how to shift the 2 outer pieces here. And then I need to align the inner and outer parts, and I probably can shift them apart. But let's first have a look at the outer shell. Okay. So what if I shift this here into this direction? If I shift it in this direction here with the letters, it would be, it can come apart here, here, here. I think I need to somehow shift it here in this direction. Here you can see it's already shifting a little bit. This looks pretty much right. And the inner line, does it meet the outer geometry? Then it would be pretty easy. We have the big step here. A smaller one. Another small one. A third one. Okay, seems to be right. This one is bigger as the ones before, while this one is the same size. And then we have one up. Oh no, this is different. There comes the big jump up, but there's a small one also. And this one is not in here. Okay. So, however, my first step will now be, I will try to align this one and this one to just double check if I can shift it. Okay, it's like this. Shift it apart. No. I also would wonder if you position it with the upside or up and downside exactly down, if the parts would come apart, this would be pretty easy. So there is some variation in the movement of the parts. Okay, let's have a look at the inner one, how this one could be separated. That makes it kind of tricky because I have no overview here what's happening here, or let's say over the complete structure in the inside. So let me just, what I do now is I rotate it a few steps and I try to push here the upper half and keep the lower half in the front. So I will feel when it's in the right position to shift. At least I hope so. Okay, I think it definitely need to move in this direction. Can you see this? Can you see this? I think this is the right way to move it, like so. So not at the very big step. Let me just go all the way around to be sure. No, there is no movement here. Definitely the inner one need to be separated over here. I think like so, like so. So I will place this one now over here. Push it at this, push it here. Push the two outer rings, and at the same time I will try to position this in the correct way that the parts can shift apart. If I push very strong, there's some kind of a stick slip occurring here. So I need to do it with some gentle force. I'm pretty much sure it will work like this, but okay, maybe not 100% the correct direction. Maybe it's more like this here, this direction. I'm so sure this will. Yeah. I can feel some resistance here. It needs to be really, there is some friction between the parts, definitely, I think, and I like the concept because the idea is pretty cool. Oh yes, I got it. So it was exactly as expected, I think. So let's just check it out. What is this? Maybe from the manufacturing process. It seems like these top pieces here are glued. So let's see. This is how the parts look like assembled, and they can slide apart or come apart like so. And you have the outer shell, and now I'm interested to see what's really the correct moving direction here. Point with this little gap here towards me, I can straightly separate it. And now let me see if I can get it back together. I'm surprised that these parts slide so well here inside of each other. Very well made, very well designed. And now let's see if I can get it back together. Like so. So what I try is I will first check out how this needs to be aligned. Now I combine them. Oh. You see this? This will be difficult to align, definitely. Oh. Now the puzzle starts, huh? Now we have a dexterity game included, I think. Okay. To align these two edges. Oh, I locked it with only one piece. Difficult to handle. Wow. Woo! Can only take hours. That makes no sense. Yeah. I think it's nearly done. Oh! Ta-da! Came together again. Puzzle solved, puzzle completed. A absolute great design here for Diniar. It reminds me very much about the Hanayama marble, which can also be separated by twisting and so on and aligning the parts in the correct way. I like the difficulty, it's doable, and I also like this dexterity aspect. And I can imagine this one made out of metal would be really, really cool. Maybe a little bit smaller, like the Hanayama puzzles. Maybe Hanayama, this is a puzzle for you to manufacture. Pretty cool. And yeah, if you like this episode, let me just know in the comments. Let me know what you think about this puzzle. Send some feedback for the designer of this puzzle in the comments. And also, if you like to learn more about puzzling, you can also check out my Instagram and Facebook channel. Until next time, keep on puzzling.